We did it, boys! 1,000 subscribers! Woo! To celebrate this momentous occasion, we're doing a sequel to what is currently my most popular video on the channel, which was my big train collection video from around June of 2022. It's been a fat minute since the first one, and the collection has evolved quite a bit since then, so I figured, why not do a collection video now? Time for a sequel, you know? And so we'll start with the one and only Gordon! Gordon was made using an old tender-driven Hornby Flying Scotsman A1 model. It used Apple Barrel's cobalt hue for the acrylic paint that you see on his model. It's also seen on a couple of my other models as well. This was one of the simplest models to complete. I was just mostly a repaint. But regardless, I'm super proud of this guy. I also gave most of my models TUGS styled megaphones on their front cab windows. I just really like these details, and I've never seen anyone do it before up until now. I just really like it. It's pretty cool, you know? Thomas. Thomas is definitely in the top 5 favorites in my collection, as it just came together so well. It was made using a 3D printed body shell designed by the LBS Thomas on Twitter that is mounted on an old Hornby Terrier chassis. Painted the body into his NWR colors, the wheels black and the side rods red. Then I mounted a scaled down Tommy smoke box onto the front door and boom. Porterverse Thomas. Wait, don't forget the megaphone, very important detail. Porter! My namesake has arrived. Porter was made using an old AHM or Riverossi 060T that was painted up into Porter's iconic colors. It is a custom mixture that was based on Porter's Trackmaster model, and he's also in my top 5 favorites of the collection like Thomas. Absolutely love this model, it just looks so nice. Murdoch. Murdoch is one of the newest models to join the Porterverse Workbench, and he's also one of my favorites. He's simply a tender-driven Hornby 9F that was repainted into a custom orange color. Usually I prefer loco-driven models, but if it runs, it runs. It's all the same to me, mostly. So yeah. Oliver! Oliver is simply a Hornby 1400 that was repainted into GWR colors in the Porterverse, which, in this personal AU of mine, the Great Western Railway's livery is more of a minty shaded green, like in the Railway series, as seen on Doug and Oliver. I really like this model. I don't know why, it just looks so unifying, you know what I mean? Caitlin! This model will be getting its own video in the near future, but this is the Porterverse version of Caitlin. It was made from an HO scale Pacific, I forget the brand, that was given custom semi-streamlining among other details before being repainted into this unique shade of red you see on her. I never really liked how Caitlin wore this weird pink shade in the shows, so for my model I gave her more of a red shade, you know? This is arguably one of the biggest models in the whole collection to date, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. And yes, for those wondering, I do plan on making Connor in the future. Just gotta get my hands on a good 464 first. Henry! Henry has since been redone since his first appearance on the channel. Henry is a repainted Bachmann 5MT. His original green shade always bugged me, so one day I said fuck it and repainted him. But yeah, after applying all the details, that was Henry. Pretty cool. Little Owl. I finally finished Little Owl's rebuild, and he looks awesome, I'd say. I repainted him fully and gave him custom buffer beams. I like to think that the Big City Road is one of the only roads in the United States that has buffers in active use. Buffer is still being worked on, as I'm currently stuck on what to do with him currently. Let me know what I should do with him. What should be done with Puffa? I am open to ideas. Red Snapper! The pioneer of dock tank submarines here once again. Red Snapper was made from a Bachmann Thomas shell that was mounted onto an old 060 chassis. So yeah, that is Red Snapper. Pretty big mod, I'd say. Kenji! The iconic bullet train makes its first appearance. This is the first time I've shown this guy, I believe. And I'm so proud of how it turned out. Kenji was made from an HO scale Shinkansen 0 series bullet train. I repainted the body into the silver color like in the TV series. Repainted the running board and cab into the respective colors. I also removed the gantry things on this model as he's battery powered in the show. Overall, quite the looker. I'm just over the moon to finally have some Japanese models in my collection. Another one of my favorites. Dummy Thomas. This is arguably my most unique model in the collection, as he was made from an all-engines go push-along Thomas that was modified to fit on his 040 chassis. The body was stripped of his paint and hydro-dipped to achieve this strange look you see here. And then a hot glue gun was used to create the dent mark on his face. He also has his own video, so if you are interested in this guy, I highly recommend checking out that video to learn more. A rather strange model, but one of my favorites regardless. It's pretty cool. The GCR04. This isn't a custom or anything, but I do think it does deserve some time in the spotlight. The model is pretty special to me as I bought him back in July of 2022 as I was traveling through Europe. I was visiting the National Rail Museum in York and I was walking around the town for a bit, Then I came across this cute little model shop. After snooping around, I came across this 04 model. And then I quickly scooped him up and brought him home. Absolutely adore this guy. Another one of my favorites. Gale. This is the newest model in the collection. This is actually an original character of mine, surprisingly, which was made using my original Percy model. Don't worry, I do plan on making a new Percy in the future. Gale's model was made using 3 prints that will be credited on screen that was found on Thingiverse. And with the printing, I primed and painted the body into this reddish-orange color that you see before you. This is one of the engines that works at the FirePorter core company along with Mavis and 16 in Porterverse, seen in my Porterverse Lore Ramblings episode 6. Check that out too if you're interested. And the chassis has to be heavily modified, which included removing the pistons and the motor, so sadly this model doesn't run on its own, but it does free roll, so that's pretty cool. Overall, a pretty solid model in my book. Theme Park Gordon. This model is in the same league as that dummy Thomas you saw earlier. And this model was made using an all-indigo Gordon body that was modified to fit on this 6-wheeled bogey I had lying around. After painting up the model, I weathered him to hell and back using charcoal powder. Pretty simple mod, all things considered. But yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, that's where the collection stands in 2023. Gone through quite the evolution, I'd say. And if you're wondering, some models that I plan to add to the collection include Molly, Edward, Flora, Belle, Arthur, Toby, and so many others. I really hope you all enjoyed this special train collection video. And I just want to take time to say thank you for 1,000 subscribers. I never thought I'd get this far this fast. This is such an awesome feeling. I would definitely not be here if it weren't for you guys. I will always appreciate the support you give me. I will always be creating content with the best interest of you in mind, my dear viewer. Always you. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of the Porterverse Workbench. And I will see you all in the next one.